We are now recording. It's officially live, and I'm officially welcoming to you all to our success meetups for this here day, the 20th of December. I'm filling in for our very own Heather. I'm a senior product trainer with Inside Real Estate, and it's my privilege and pleasure to present this topic to you today. For agenda purposes, I'm going to do my best to give you all the tools that I know about some strategies for engaging your leads, and then we'll open it to a Q&A. A Q&A for anything that we talked about or anything at all, as long as it's not tech support. Folks, I can't help you with that. If you are here and have a tech support issue, please use the chat bubble in your platform. I know you know it, but I just want to set the stage correctly. That's in the lower right-hand corner of any screen, and 7 days a week. That sound fair? If we're ready to get into it, I will also note, again, this is recorded. You'll get sent, or you won't get sent a copy. It will be on this page. Bear with me, bear with me. Our YouTube channel, and I'll share this with you now. Just click on this and we'll update this. I will as soon as I can. Here it is in the chat. So to watch any replays or replays of any of our previous classes here, it's good info. You know, you talk about out of the box, is about as out of the box as the classes get. So I'm glad you've chosen to share some time with us today. So initial lead engagement strategies for imported leads. That's what I decided to call the topic. It isn't a topic that technically exists, but it's a topic that I talk about, and I think it's important for all of us to think about. If what I see a lot of the time is folks do a pretty decent job of importing their leads, getting them in there, and maybe they reach out, maybe they don't. I find this about half the time, but you know, the holdup tends to be, well, what am I going to say? Without exception, I can advise you and recommend to you that every communication attempt should give them a reason to go to your website in some way. This is how we're going to win their business over time. You know, nice emails and nice text, yes, that's part of the process, but let's just remember and keep in mind that if we don't give them a reason to go to our website, well, then they're going to go somewhere else and they're going to Google it, friends. So we got to make it easy and make it clickable. So we have some cool built-in templates that I'm going to show you how you can leverage. I thought I'd show you how you could change both an email and text template if you want to modify it for your own messaging. And then we'll open it to Q&A. Does that sound fair, everybody? Okay, outstanding. Well, let's do this then. Let's get out of my little slide here. Let's get into the platform. I do have some supporting documentation I'd like to share with you now. Just bear with me. Because when we think about lead engagement, who am I engaging? Am I engaging everyone at once? Am I engaging specific segments, specific groups or categories in my CRM of all my contacts? So the first place to really start is to make sure that we have our leads all categorized in the way that makes sense for us. Okay, so I'm just going to go over a few ways to do that. Thank you, Sherry. So the first of which, I'm going to bring us to our CRM filter. I'm going to put an article in here, and I will do my best to put these articles when I follow up and post the video, but I thought I'd just share it with you. So let's start with our filters, and let's start with hashtags. Because hashtags, if you haven't heard about one of the instructors here talk about it yet, here you go, but I bet you have. And the idea is hashtags are how you make your own categories, your own groups. You can do it when you import your leads, which is definitely recommended because then you have less work once you get your contacts in. I'm going to use leads and contacts interchangeably. You know, I know they're not necessarily every contact is a lead, some might say. I disagree. I think everybody's a lead eventually at some point, but there it is. So when we talk about categorizing, let's take a look at how that, or take a look at what that looks like. Let's navigate to our Smart CRM on the left-hand side. It's the vertical menu. It's on any screen. I'm 3 down from the top. I'm looking at my Smart CRM. I'm logged in as an agent. Here I am. Let's say you just imported your leads. How do you find them? Maybe you already had leads in there and you just want to target those folks that you just imported. Let's start there. Okay, now this is going to be based on source and hashtag. Source and hashtag. Folks, I'm going to collapse my sidebar here. I'm on a little laptop. And you can do that if any of you have ever wondered up near the kvCORE logo and that little, developers call it a hamburger next to that little magnifying glass. If you click that, it'll collapse your side menu. You can still access them, okay? So if it looks a little weird. Okay, so here are all my contacts. Now, if I scroll over a little bit to the right, you'll notice I have a source option here. Now, if you imported your leads, and my hope is that you did, or you're going to, if you haven't yet, that's one of the basic first steps. And you might say, well, I don't know anyone. I don't have any real leads. The more people that you follow up with and you stay in contact with is really how you can build a snowballing type effect on your pipeline. You know, the more people I'm following up with, the more people that know what I do and how I can help them. My point here is source, it's going to say imported leads. So if I wanted to search for everybody that I just imported, I would go over to the left-hand side. I'd select that filter button right underneath the CRM, Smart CRM in the upper left. And I would come down to the option that says contact details. Now in here, I have a system source and a contact source. Okay, so system source, basically kind of hard-coded, if you will, to some certain things and ways that people can come in to your system, and lead import is one of them. But we also give all the leads you imported a hashtag automatically. And it starts with, if I just keyword searching in the hashtag field and I type import, if you've imported your leads, you're going to get a drop down, and probably a few. And what it's going to look like, the format will say import the year, 2021, the day, and then the month. It's kind of backwards, I know. But that would, and then would give a dash, like a -1, -2, -3. If you had a large file, my team will break it up for you, but those will all be imported on that day. So if I wanted to hit those people with what we're about to do, just that segmented group that I had just imported, I'd recommend to do it by your hashtag instead of source. Source is going to show you everybody you've ever imported, and maybe that is what you want to do. But I gave the topic today for imported leads. Does that make sense to everybody so far? How you could find those leads, you know, if they were mixed in with some of your other contacts. If I wanted to get that group, I don't even know if I have any here. I have one. Okay, but imagine, you know, there's a long list. Here in the CRM, we can mass text and mass email 250 max per page, or as few as 10. So up in the upper right, I could select my rows and, you know, change that to 250, you know, 25, 50, 100, 250 type of thing. Everybody with me? Doing all right? So that's how I'd find those. Now, let me clear that out for a minute, and let's think a little bit about categorizing, because maybe you got them in, but you want to take it a step further. Meaning, okay, I imported, let's say, 100 leads, but there's all kinds of things going on in those 100 leads. You know, maybe some are past clients, maybe some are friends, maybe some are prospects that you don't know what they are yet because you haven't spoken with them. People you're currently working with, people you hope are going to be a lead, technically prospects. But the first way we organize that is through what we call contact status. Now, you don't get choice here, folks. Well, at least so far that you can't change these. We have 7, right? And I'll share a quick article with you, just if you want to read them here. Don't get caught up in the, you know, what we say as a client, but just know that you got to pick one of these, and that all our automation is really wrapped around this concept of status, you know? But there's also the concept of type. What do I mean? Well, it's a new lead, but it's also a buyer. It's a new lead, but it's a seller. Making sense? It's a client buyer, it's a client seller, it's a, you know, and on and on. So we have the concept of type, buyer and seller, and renter, and vendor, and those are listed right here. You have 5. I just shared the article in the chat. And then for status, we have the 7: sphere, prospect, new lead, active, client, contract, and close. Now where you come in are hashtags, because hashtags you can create whatever you want. So if I was to click, for example, I went back to my CRM, and now drawing your attention to number 1, you have status. I want to contact everybody that's a sphere and a buyer. I want everybody that's a sphere, a new lead, and a prospect that's a buyer and a seller. You can have more than one type. You can only have one status at a time per contact, but I could search on, multiple contacts, right? Hashtags are where you come in, because you say, well, I'll get the question, well, what if I want to create my own group? That's hashtags all day long. So if I wanted to do it individually, I would click on a lead's name. That's all I did. I just clicked on the lead's name. And then over here on the left-hand side, we have a hashtags, category for you, if you will. There's no limit. No one sees them except you. You can delete your hashtags. The only requirement for hashtags is that you don't use spaces. And if you'll notice, even with that apostrophe, it wouldn't let me add it. Some special characters they'll let you use. Just give it a try if it's something you want. And I just created my own category that I can now search on in my CRM. But the important thing here I want you, for our purpose today, is that we're going to target a certain segment perhaps of our pipeline, our CRM. Maybe I want everybody that has the hashtag don't use spaces, or maybe I want everyone that has the hashtag 1 to 3, like 1 to 3 months. It could be financial. It could be, here's one I have FHA loan or just browsing, or maybe they want a pool or they're a past client. They could be all these things over time. Maybe they're a friend. Maybe they're a Facebook contact that you downloaded. You can have as many as you want, and then you can filter and group and then target based on these hashtags. So if you don't get choices on the status, it's a sphere, it's a prospect, it's a new lead, at least beyond you got to pick one. And then 2 over here on the left under their name and email, I can say you're a buyer, you're a seller. And I'll get the question, well, I do have a past client, but they're not really a buyer or a seller. Then call them both, because they could be either. You got to pick one at least. You can pick more than one if you need. The agent type, if you're wondering, that's recruitment, used typically at an administrative or brokerage office type level. But there are some brokerages that incentivize agents to, recruit. There it is. Okay. But hashtags, you can call them whatever the heck you want. So if I want to create another hashtag for this fella, maybe they like horses. No spaces, tag them in that timeline. You're going to, get a confirmation that you'd actually had that hashtag. Making sense so far? If I was to back it up to my CRM, maybe this entire group that I just filtered for, that was my imported leads, I wanted to give another tag too. You can do it in mass. So I showed you how you could do it one by one. I could select that entire group in my CRM, like maybe it's up to 250 or as few as 10. I go to more actions, that more actions button, and I could add a hashtag in mass. Hashtag these leads. And create my own group or category. I'm making it ridiculous to make a point here that there really is no limit to how you want to categorize people. It could be one word, a few letters. You could call them hot, cold, time frame, financial, how you know them, what they're looking for. Just clicking with everyone. Hopefully everyone knows this, especially if you've been in any of these type of classes, but I'm making sure. Okay, so we have hashtags, we have status, we have type. This is how we categorize our leads. Once I've categorized, /grouped, /organized, categorized, however you want to call it, that you feel like, okay, I have my people in, grouped the way I want them to. Then I can do things like filter, show me everybody. And again, I'm in my CRM if you're following along, and I go to contact details. Maybe I deselect everyone. I just want to see a hashtag that is 1, 2, 3 months. Show me everybody that is looking to purchase in 1 to 3 months. What's going to happen over time is you're going to have your own hashtag library that you'll be able to reuse, right? Look what I have. Like, if I could spell correctly, you do have to spell correctly. 2, 3 months, right? So you see I've used it a few times. There'll be a drop down and I can just reselect it. Show me everybody has 1 to 3 months. You might say, what if I want 2? How about it's 1 to 3 months and, oh, I don't know, they want a pool. Maybe I just got a listing with the pool and I've been using this type of categorization. And I say, okay, I want everyone that's purchasing 1 to 3 months that I've tagged that also wants a pool. It's an OR logic. You can even hashtag is not just browsing. Maybe I want everybody that's not just browsing, right? Maybe I want to add pre-approved or whatever. I don't know if I'll have any of these leads. I'll run a filter to find out, but I think hopefully you get the idea that you can be very specific. I actually do. Okay, so that's that group. If I wanted to engage that specific group now that's 1 to 3 months that also is interested in a pool, what's some use cases? How about I just got a listing with the pool and I want to share that with them? Now, the focus of, that listing, the focus of today is initial engagement. What do you say first? I just imported them. I want to say a howdy, hello, and direct them to my website. And hopefully we can, develop our conversation from there. Well, we have some templates built for you. So if everyone feels pretty comfortable to say, yeah, I got you, I know how to categorize, I can put them the way I want them. And now I have that group in front of me that I do want to send a messaging to. We're going to start with the mass email. Select the group. You filtered for the group, the people that you want to target. Maybe it's all of them. Maybe it's a few of them. We're going to select mass email. Now, I have good news for all of you coming that I'm privy to. We have ChatGPT integrated coming very, very soon that you're going to be able to use in your emails and texts. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so maybe you're like, I don't know what to say. I could do my smart assistant. Now, I can't give you time frames, folks, so please don't ask. It's coming sooner than you think. It's not going to cost you anything extra. But the idea is, if I wanted to say, send a welcome email message, you can pick these categories or give it a prompt. Send them a welcome email message, Merry Christmas. You can get very specific. You generate. Now, I'm going to show you a template we already have, but just know this is coming. You showed up today, I'm going to tell you. So I just created a nice little message that I could fire out to everyone that's specific to me. This is coming very soon. But I'm going to go back to just the regular template stuff that you all have. Now, in template, I'm in the upper right-hand corner. Notice a couple things. You do have an advanced editor. I don't recommend these, nor does the company, for initial engagement typically. If I'm adding HTML and links and my social media icons, maybe a video, any of that good stuff for initial engagement. It's more likely, typically, not always, to end in spam if we put a bunch of fancy stuff. So we're going for a text. Okay, going for a text. What you're going to do is you're going to find, not text, but I mean text, not picture, right? This isn't a text, this is an email. But in the template field, upper right, just type import. What did we just do? We just imported our leads. So it's going to be a keyword search, and you're looking for what's called the imported leads default email. I'll repeat myself. Imported leads default email. As soon as I type import, that should be available as a dropdown. Select it. And here it is. Hello, lead first name, which it will pull. There's nothing you need to do here. Here's our sentence. That we're, hey, I always strive to provide the best customer service. I've decided to adopt the new technology, et cetera, et cetera. Are you actively searching, planning to resume your search, already bought and sold? Here is my website. Your signature. Have a wonderful week. Send. Now, maybe you look at this and you're like, oh, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that at all. But that's fine. This is just a template for you to build upon. The subject line says just wanted to check in. You could change that right now. I could say, revise, put in whatever I want right now. But it won't be saved. meaning you'd have to do that again next time if you wanted to repeat the process. I'm going to show you how you could say or change this one. But for now, this is the one that's included. If I just wanted a one-off change, maybe I don't like this sentence or something. Whatever you decide, just make sure that you do include the check it out here for your agent site URL. This does not mean you have to put yours in there. This is a merge tag that's going to pull yours automatically. Maybe you don't want to say check it out here. Maybe you say please click here. My point here is that you can change it on the fly, but it's not saved at this point. You're just changing it and sending it. The other one will still be there next time, right? So there's step one. You send. Initial engagement, you shared your website, and it has all your contact info. The dust is going to settle, right? Some people are going to respond. Some people are not going to respond. Someone's going to say unsubscribe. Someone's going to say, who is this? We're going to get through those and then decide how we're going to follow up with you long-term after that. Now, that's a different class, right? Am I going to put you on a drip? Am I going to put you on a market report? Am I going to put you on a monthly valuation for your address? What's the other one? Smart drip campaign, right? But this is our initial. Let's shake the trees. Now, what I recommend now is to create a task for that group that you just sent that email to. What do I mean? I mean a task. You can always create a task for an individual or an entire group. If I wanted to, I could say, okay, for this whole group, I'm going to go to more actions. I'm going to add a task. And this task, I'm going to entitle it follow up with a text. I'm going to set it a few days out. For me, I'd probably give it 3. You can make the call. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to send it on Saturday. I'm going to do it at 11 a.m. and be fine. Send these folks a follow-up text, right, to that email we just sent. So you'll get your daily calls, right? We email those to you every day. Your daily calls and tasks will also be on your main dashboard. So on that day, on Saturday, you're going to see all these. You can come back over to your CRM and filter for them. For all those that have a task, you'll see them over here on the right. And I add that task. 3 days from now, I pop in, same group. I select them all. This time I go for a mass text. Everybody with me? We're just doing a mass email. I'm sending a task. 2, 3 days later, I'm going to follow up with a text. Again, you're going to have this option coming soon. It's pretty exciting. It does write some pretty good emails and text. If you're not sure exactly what you want to write, but for now, you'll always have our canned messages. And I can see that down under here, like where my message box is over here in the message, canned response. This is just like the email template. The template when I searched for import, remember that just said template and I typed in import. I'm going to do that again. And it's called the imported leads default text. Hello, lead first name. I just sent you an email about cleaning up my database and past and current clients and wanted to follow up with this text. Can you tell me if you are? And we ask questions again, and you're tagged being you send, and there it is. So those are some initial strategies you can use to engage. Now, let's say you want to change one of those. No problem. Go over to marketing on the left, and you're going to look for smart campaigns. Because that's where all those templates live, those templates and canned responses. So let's go ahead and marketing, smart campaigns, manage campaigns. And where you're looking is going to be up here in the inside upper left. I see my campaigns, the kvCORE library, and templates. If I go to templates, this is where all those messages live, all the ones that are already written for you. This is where you can create your own and use, and you could clone and modify one of our existing ones. So let's say you wanted to change that imported email that I just shared with you. Well, let's type import here in the keyword field. And let's see what emails we have. Well, what do you know? There it is, the imported leads default email. If I was looking for the text up here in the upper left under templates, I would go to the text message library and I would type import to get the imported leads text message. But back to the email. So there it is, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to select clone on the right-hand side. Clone, I'm going to copy it, I'm going to edit it, I'm going to make it my own. So this very same email that we just used that's a default, you could change for future if you wanted to. Maybe you want to use this as your, howdy hello or something, first email. I could rename the subject up here, and maybe I'll just say revise. To find it, it will have the copy in the parentheses. That's how you're going to know. But just for our purposes, maybe I say Brett's copy, right? But whatever you name the template is how you find it. Subject is the subject. I come down to the body, and this is where you could change stuff. Maybe you don't like hi, you like hello. Maybe you just want to revise, this sentence. Just remember to leave your website in there. Maybe you don't like, this stuff, and I want to, clean that up. Right? Make sure you include your signature at the bottom. You will have to scroll for it. For whatever reason, we can't make these little windows like full screen, so you're going to have to scroll. So just keep that in mind. It should be there. Go ahead and clone the template. You just did it. Now I could repeat that process I just did with my own email. Let's do it. So go back to your CRM, filter for the group that you want to send that, engagement email to. Select that group over on the left. So Smart CRM, filter for the group you want to send this message to. I go back to mass email and just type import again. Or no, sorry, in the template field, not there. Oops, oopsie daisy. In the upper right where it says template, and I would type import. There it is, the one I just made, Brett's copy. So if you called it something else, that's fine. Right? Revise this sentence. And I remove that other one. I change the subject. And then I could send it to them. And you would repeat this same exact process if you wanted to change our text. I'd go back over to my marketing, smart campaigns, upper inside left, templates. But this time, don't forget that we have 5 categories of templates. So this time I want to find the text message one. Now show me everything that you have that says import, type it in the keyword. There's the default text. I would clone, copy. Again, I'm just going to, for our instructional purposes, call it Brett's copy so you can see that. Right, hi lead first name. Maybe you want to add your website. Here's a little, let's see if this works. It does. So all you got to do, here's a little pro tip. If you want to use our merge tags, just hit Shift on your keyboard. And the key just to the right of the letter P as in Papa, those little brackets, you have a squiggly bracket and then a squared bracket. Hit Shift, and this drops your merge tags in your for text codes. So if I wanted, for example, and you'll see there's lead stuff, seller stuff, agent stuff, but maybe I want my website in here, and I recommend you do. Maybe I drop my agent website in there. I mean, you could just copy the link, from your website too, but it won't be clickable like this is. I clone it. It's mine now. I go back to my smart CRM. I'm going to hit a quick refresh on that page. I select that group of people that I want to follow up with a text. I go to mass text. I find the option that says canned response. What am I going to search for? You know it. I just type import. Well, what do you know? There's Brett's copy, the one we just created. There's my agent website. I sent. And now I can use this forever. I could use it individually too. I mean, it works the same way when you create a template if I'm individually. Maybe I'm looking at this lead market report and I want to send them an email on the right-hand side. Right, I just sent email. I'd still just go for that import. And there's Brett's copy, the one I just created. See what I mean? So you could use it individually. I could use it in mass. And I'm going to show you one final finale here, and then I'll open the floor to any questions you all have. Let me share this with you. I've had good luck with this. All of you have access to this article. If anyone's curious how to search for this article I just sent to you from the platform, right-hand corner, that little blue circle chat, search for help. You can search for articles. Right? So what I want landing pages, I want squeeze pages, I want how to import leads. You can also in the right-hand side, support and training, go to our support center. That's where I found all these articles, just so you know. But this one, it's a kind of a different strategy, but I recommend that you consider it. So without all that other stuff, maybe you take the strategy of something like this. Did you want to get out and see any homes this week? No hello, no goodbye. Just a very direct text. Now, these could be used in an email too, but if you're going to try this strategy, make it simple, right? The whole idea is I'm just asking you one question. Do you want to swim in your own pool? You might say, well, I don't know if they want a pool or not. Well, they're going to tell you. And the conversation has started. We want to get them talking to you. Our school's important. No, I don't have any kids. We're talking. Or yes, they are. So if I wanted to take this kind of strategy, I could just copy one of these messages, go back to my CRM, select that whole group, select mass text or mass email, and paste it in and hit send. Watch what happens. Now, my caution to you is I wouldn't send out 250 of these at once unless you're prepared to respond to 250 people in 24 hours. It could happen. Could happen. I already bought a house. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Who is this? I mean, all that's going to happen for you. I recommend if you're going to try our short engagement strategy, short messages. I'm not saying, hey, Brett, how's it going? Are you still looking for a home? Maybe you already bought a home. Well, please let me know. Not that those are bad, but we're just trying a different strategy. I'm being very direct and to the point here. Whatever you decide to put there. No. Yes. Yes. We talk about the benefit of open-ended questions, but this will get some responses. I would limit them to 225 max at first before you go firing out 250 to see what your response rate is. Because the last thing you want to have is 100 people that you can't follow up with that are interested. You ever think of that? You know what I mean? What if they all are interested and you're like, holy moly, I mean, want that, but hopefully you get the idea. I could repeat that same process. I mean, originally we created this for texting, but I threw in or email just to the point of what if you don't have their phone number? I would do the same thing with an email. I'd go for the mass email, but I'd still make it simple. I wouldn't do the whole signature. That's the whole strategy. And maybe I'd put the same thing in the subject. I mean, that's up to you, but that might be an easy way to do it. Maybe you do add your signature. I mean, that's professional, so they know who you are, that you're a licensed realtor, Make sense to everybody? Here, I'll give you my final pro tip, and we'll see if you have any questions here, okay? What if I have a lot of leads? What if I want to send to way more than 250 people, but I don't want to have to do this 250 a page, send email, pick template, send. Next, 250 a page, select 250 next. Now, if you're that fortunate, you have that many leads, you do have an option just for email to send to everybody at once. Now, you remember how I was talking about how everything's categorized in the CRM? I'll remind us. We have contact status, these 7. I have buyer, seller, renter, vendor, agent, and I have hashtag. You can also create a saved filter. And you can target this saved filter. Maybe I said, hey, give me everybody that's new lead, active, prospect that was created in this year, that was last active in the last 30 days. You could get very specific. I could save that filter. What was it? Active, prospect, new, last active, what did I say? 30 days. Right? I create this filter and then I can use my scheduled mass email tool to target this group specifically. This is just one example. It could be all your imported leads. People that all have an email. People that all are a buyer looking in Carlsbad, California that are looking to buy within 1 to 3 months. I save that new filter. Now we're going to navigate over to marketing. So there's 3 ways to think about categorization. I have status and type, I have hashtags, and I have saved filters. Then I can leverage those 3 categories, and I go to scheduled mass emails. Where am I? I went to marketing on the left, and then I find scheduled mass email, and I'm going to get started. Now, if you've never used this tool before, something's going to pop up for you right now that you have to enable it, and you have to go fill out a form. It won't take you but a minute or two. Go ahead and do that. You're not giving away any privacy or anything. Follow the steps, answer the questions, and you'll be able to get where I'm at. Folks, we use this for Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Halloween, Happy Thanksgiving. I see people use it for newsletters, keeping in touch. But we could also use that engagement email and send it to your entire database with 1 click, is my point. Bring your attention to the upper right, find scheduled email. So mine's a little green button, a little plus schedule email, upper right. Now I can schedule an email to go out to the future. So over here in the upper left-hand side, it goes, okay, well, who are we sending this email to? No, we don't have this for texting. This would be sweet. I hope we do. Like schedule texts to go out into the future. I mean, we do that with our smart drip campaigns, kind of, but not on an exact day at exact time. You know what I mean? So I could pick that, okay, I'm going to send this email to a filter I created in my CRM. What was that one we did? Active prospects. It was one of these. Last 30 days, whatever it was. Sorry, there it is. Active prospect, new, last active 30 days. I could send to that entire group. I could send it instead. Now, these are either or scenarios, so I can't like pick 2 or 3 of these as one only. Maybe I want it to be everybody that's 1, 2, 3 months. That is hot. Maybe I use hot, hot, cold, medium. Maybe it's has a pool or wants a pool, right? So I could target that group. Or finally, if you just want to send to everyone, just select send to contacts with status. Because there's only 7. So if you pick them all, sphere, prospect, new lead, active, client, contract, and closed, that's your entire database no matter what. So if I wanted to send out that same email I showed you, after I've selected this option, just come down to templates. You already know this. You're pros now. All you got to do is what? Type import, keyword search. There's my imported leads default email, the copy I made, Brett's copy, right? Because I renamed it. You all saw it. Here it is. Now I can say, okay, well, when do I want it to go? Do I want it to go today, tomorrow, Christmas? Come to the upper right-hand corner. It says when to send for whatever reason. Maybe because my initial developers were on the East Coast, but it's Eastern time. So if you're Pacific Mountain or Central, keep that in mind. Pick your date. Maybe I want it to go on Sunday. Maybe I want it to go at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. You schedule it in the lower left-hand corner, you're done. And then when you're done scheduling it, it'll tell you, okay, it's estimated that we're going to send this to 133 people that have valid emails that we've checked, and that's it. You're done. Now, since I said it, I'll show you how to send a Merry Christmas. Okay? Everything else is the same. Pick your groups. Is it people with a hashtag? Is it a saved filter you created? Or is it everybody that you just selected in your database? Come down to templates again. This time, type holiday. Holiday. And you're going to get a bunch of drop-down options. There's Thanksgiving. You can see I've created quite a few. Labor Day, July 4th. There's Happy New Year. Or we got 2024 in. It's brand new. So you could wish them Happy New Year. That just got put in. There's 23, 22, etc. If you look for Happy Holidays, we have 4 variations on Merry Christmas. And you can change these just like I showed you. You could change our import email. This is the same. However, these are what we call our advanced emails. So they have HTML and such. So let's say I pick Happy Holidays too. Okay, nice little picture. Here's your signature. There's a link to your website. Merry Christmas, everybody. Subject line says 'tis the season. Upper right-hand corner, you decide when. I'm going to put this one on Christmas. Get the idea. And I can do the same thing for, Happy New Year. Just look for 2024. So a cool tool. I hope that helps, folks. Gives you some ideas for initial engagement. Okay, from your CRM, there's tools built in, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel to reach out to these people if you're not sure what to say. With the new year, I'm sure you'll all have our smart assistant powered by ChatGPT. Fun little thing to work with, creating emails and text. But for now, at least you have the default email and text you can send. You learned how we can quickly change one of our existing messages if it doesn't say exactly what you want. And we did that over in marketing, smart campaigns. And then we found templates and then just searched for the email template in question. And for our purposes, it was import, because the focus was today, okay, my leads are imported. Now what? Now the now what part 2 is going to be, some people aren't going to respond. So be thinking about what you're going to do with that. If they respond to a text and say unsubscribe, they're going to unsubscribe for you. And maybe that's something you think about too. If you found that imported leads default email, let me pull that one up right here real quick and hit a clone. There is not an unsubscribe on this email, but you could add one because maybe that's what you want. If they don't want to be with you, make it easy for them. I could drop a drop down here and then come up to what we call a merge tag. I'm in the email editor, and if you hover over that little sunburst, it says insert merge tag. Click it, go to agent. Where is it? Not in this one. Maybe it's lead. It's been a while since I used this one. Bear with me. Merge tag, lead. There it is, unsubscribe URL. It's not going to be in there automatically. It is on your search alerts. It is on your market reports. If they say unsubscribe on a text, it'll automatically unsubscribe them, but it doesn't do it a matter of factly when you create an email like this. So if you might make it easy, hey, if you just want to unsubscribe, let me know. That'll unsubscribe themselves. So one less thing you have to do. So this might be a good idea to add. Again, that was the merge tag with the sunburst. I went to lead. I went over to the drop down and looked for unsubscribe URL. Make sense? Questions on any of this? Feedback. Now, you don't have to give me feedback. Hopefully it was helpful. I'm sure you all got it, but. Well, thanks, Sherry. I hope that was helpful, because I'll tell you what, let me give you a little hint here. Not a hint, but something you can look at in the system. Everyone go to Business Analytics on the left. Business Analytics on the left. It's on the left vertical menu towards the bottom. You'll notice here I have all these tabs. I have pipeline, source performance, kvCORE activity, consumer interest, etc. Click on kvCORE activity. Take a look at unengaged leads. It's over, at least on my screens, on the right-hand side. So out of all the leads I have in here, it tells me who doesn't have search alerts, no market reports, and no active drip campaign. I can filter for this in my CRM too. It's super easy. But the point I want you to pay attention to is, are you following up with everyone? Is there 10 people that aren't being followed up with? Should you be following up with them? What are you going to do? The initial engagement is a great place to start to make those decisions depending on their response, if that makes sense. Thank you, Sherry. Is there a way to remove the unsubscribe leak from text campaigns? Well, Abe, it's not a link, actually. On a text, there is no link. The idea here, good question, is if I respond, let's say you sent me that text that says, hey, I'm just following up on my, my email from the other day, and they just say unsubscribe or stop, it does it for you, is my point. There is not a link that says click here to unsubscribe. I get your point. On the email, there was. I'm just saying that if I got your text and I said stop, it'll automatically unsubscribe me. If I said unsubscribe, it will automatically, but there isn't something to, I get your point, encourage them to do this. Okay, we don't want to make it easy if we don't have to. Here's the the link in the chat if you want to read a little deeper about how that works automatically. I was suggesting only on the email. If if I'm sending out to a lot of people, if someone responded to you, Abe, and said, hey, I'm not interested, will you please unsubscribe me? Guess what? You have to go unsubscribe them now. You know what I mean? If you put the link in there on that big email, it's going to save you time. Now, I get your point too. You might say, well, I don't want to suggest it. Maybe they wouldn't have if I wouldn't have done that. Maybe. But the point is on the text, if they respond back with that, it does it for you automatically. By the way, if I click on, let's click on a lead for a minute. I'm in my CRM. Let's say that this market report lead here said to me in an email, I'm sorry, I'm just not interested. Please unsubscribe me. And now you have to do it because you didn't have a link in there. You get me? So how do you do that? So you'd come over on the right-hand side and there's a more actions button. This is where all our communication actions are. I want to add a note. If I had a phone, I could make a call, send an email, send a text. By the way, you all get 10 free individual use one-to-one core videos powered by BombBomb per calendar month. That means I can't send one video to 10 people. It means I can send one to you and one to the next person and one to the next. And I only have 10 at no cost. And I can't use saved ones. That's how, the company wants you to upgrade to the premium version. But if you just wanted to send a quick video to someone, it's free 10 times a month, 1st to the 30th. But if I come down to more actions underneath that core video, I could unsubscribe from emails. I can unsubscribe from texts. And think of that. Just because someone unsubscribes, what did they unsubscribe from? Was it just text? Was it just emails? And I learned this yesterday in a class. Someone asked me, if they unsubscribe from text, can I still call them? The answer is yes. They've only it won't cut off your button here to make a phone call, I learned. You won't be able to put them on any automatic texts if they unsubscribe. It doesn't mean you can't call them. Okay, that's a separate thing. So you really have 3 ways to think about it. They could unsubscribe from just my emails, they could unsubscribe from just my text, or they could unsubscribe completely. Something to keep in mind. But if you responded back to me, I would come here and I would unsubscribe from emails. If you said, unsubscribe me from that list. Make sense? Good question. Because they didn't recognize the phone number from kvCORE text. Abe, you know what I recommend for that? Change your text. Let's do that real quick. I think that's a valid concern here. Now, remember, if you're using your mobile app, when I send a text or make a call on a specific contact, it asks me, do you want your cell to display or do you want your smart number to display? But when I'm from my laptop and I send a text or a call, you don't get that choice, right? It's going to show your smart number. So what I recommend doing is I'd go back to marketing. I'd go back to smart campaigns. I'd find templates again, templates. I'd go to my text. And let's say I'm using that one that we've been using example, the import one. Let's say I go to import, show me my imported text. This is the one I just created today. Brett's copy. Let's go ahead and edit that. Right? And what did I put in? Hey, just following up on that email I sent you the other day, however you decide to phrase that. Here's my website. Remember, I added that and it says, thanks your name. And I would say something like this. By the way, this is my virtual. Now, it's possible they don't get this far. Abe, I get it. But this is the best we can do when it's automated and we're looking to engage. You know what I mean? I like to say my virtual assistant, phone number. Maybe I list it. Please contact, or maybe I say this too. By the way, this is Abe, right? This is my virtual assistant's phone number. Please contact me directly using my cell at, my cell phone. How do we do it? I hit the shift, I hit the letter, the key next to the P as in Papa, It drops it down. I look for my, you could put your number in too. I mean, that's easy enough. But if I went for agent cell phone, you know what I mean? That might help you there. And maybe even say something like this in my, well, the template name, I guess you can't do because this isn't a subject line. On an email, I could say, hey, this is Abe. We've been working together. But I could say also, hey, first name, this is, Abe with, ABC Realtors. You know what I mean? That's going to take care of most of the issue that you're having, in my experience. And then I would just update that template, and then if I wanted to send that back in my CRM, now that I've done it, oh, it looks like I made a problem with my hashtag. But you get the idea. So I select that group, I go to mass text, I then pick canned response, and then I go back to import, and then I can have that fire out to everyone. So it's a good point. I just like to throw in my phone number when I'm sending from the platform, and for automated things like this to do in mass. I mean, technically, you could do all of this from your mobile app. It's your phone, so it's not going to be quite as, easy with the keyboard kind of thing. But the challenge is going to be the option when you're sending, please send as a smart number to display in my end user, or please show my cell phone, is only when we're sending individually. So that's the challenge here. That makes sense. But if I modified it here, that would be the way to do it on my laptop. Any other questions, concerns, comments, thoughts? I got a few more minutes here. And again, for those of you, just to remind us, I will update this recording as soon as it processes on our YouTube channel. Appreciate you all being here. And I believe, do we have another one tomorrow? Yep, there's another one on Thursday. It's going to be our last one before the holiday. We're closed on Monday, Tuesday. But there it is. I hope that was helpful, folks. Learned something new. So if I send an individual text, it'll be from my cell phone number. Only if, oh, Abe, hey, no worries. Only if you're using the mobile app. That's the only time you have that choice, Abe. So there is no option if I'm texting like I've been showing you from my laptop. So if I send a mass text here, no, there's not an option. I was saying that a workaround might be to say my cell phone is, is this number. So your people will know, and, hey, this is Abe that you've been working with, or some kind of idea. But when I'm using my mobile app, and if you haven't downloaded it, folks, main dashboard, upper right-hand corner, download your mobile app today. They're free. You get an open house and your predictive dialer agent app. If I was calling you, Abe, right now, and or texting you right now, before you compose your message, you're going to have a toggle that says display my smart number or display my cell. That makes sense? Sherry, the recording is going to be posted on our YouTube channel that I just, let me share the link with you one more time. And I just have to upload it. So it'll be here today, I promise. It'll be up here, just at the very top, right above working with lenders up here. That's where the recording will be. You show how to add a mass task. Can you show how that shows up as one task for all or a large number of tasks? Yeah, you bet. On your main dashboard, when you first log in, and we're going to also email you daily. If you create a task for yourself, you will get emailed outside the system. But let's just say I just logged in. In the middle, at least I'll make it the middle. There we go. Middle, I have activity, calls, tasks, calendar, my business. So in those tasks, I have some past due, for example. You're going to see all those right here. Now, if you gave them a hashtag, which I recommend too, that's an easy way for you to do that in mass. Because right here, look at my options. What can I do? I can select everyone. I could mass done, mass delete, mass snooze. There's not an option to mass text from here. So I recommend to categorize those people that you created that task for, so I can go back to my CRM, search by follow up with group 1 in 3 days or something, kind of thing. But this is where you would see them. You'll also get sent an email that'll have all the tasks that you created. Here's mine, all right here, coming up on the 24th. Send a follow-up tag, send a follow-up tag. Good question. Cool. Can you show me how to use core video? I tried sending a video to someone who searched properly and it was not working. Also, if I send a holiday message with the core video, would it go to spam? Spam's always an issue, Abe. I'm not going to sit here and tell you otherwise. That's something that no software company can control except Google. You know what I mean? And Microsoft, Gmail. They decide what, makes something spam. In terms of using the core video, it should be this easy. In your smart CRM, you can't do more than one, remember. So if you tried to send it to more than one, it will not let you. Why is this not? Give me a sec here. Quick refresh. Main dashboard. So if I wanted to, for example, send a core video to this BK lead over here, I could either choose that option down here at the bottom, email and core video, or click on their name. And then over on the right, there's that core video. So if you've never used it before, it's going to tell you, hey, this is the free one. You get 10 individual use. If you want to be able to send one to many, you're going to have to pay for it. So this, I could only send one to you. Now, remember, for this to work, I'm going to have your email because that's how I'm sending it. I'm not texting it to you. I can only email the free version. If you paid for the version, the $30 a month powered by BombBomb, you could send it as a text, but you can't. So if you try to send as a text, you can't. But you could send it as an email. So what you might have experienced is, and I get it, if I was in my smart CRM and looks like I did a bad something over here when I was doing hashtags. But anyway, if I pretend there's a group of leads here, if I tried to select that entire group, I cannot do the video message. I can only do it one at a time. So maybe that's what you were running into. Because it should work on PC or Mac. As long as you have a video on your computer and you'll record it right on the spot and send. And it should be recorded on the timeline of the lead. But I will also say, if you have an issue, you have an issue. Use that live chat and let us know. But again, you won't be able to send one to many, only one to one. And it won't let you do that, and you can't send a text. Huh. Not sure, Ed. It should be as easy as clicking on a lead's name, hit core video, it opens up, you record and send. So not sure. You shouldn't have to do the recorder. Like for mine right here, that's it. Like it just pulled up. Here it is. Create your video. So I'd say, who is it? This guy right here. Right? I click open recorder. Mine just opened up. You can all see it. There I am. So if that's not happening, maybe you have a block on something, but please reach out to support. I'm sorry, I can't help you more than that, but that's how it should work. Just that easy. Okay? Can you show us how to change the widget selection from standard to modern? I'm not sure what you mean there, Sherry. On your website? And actually, I'm over time. I'm already lost my time, but I don't want to leave you hanging there, Sherry. I'm gonna get you in the right direction. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Standard, if you're talking about website templates, maybe? Thanks, Abe. Okay, yeah, Abe, it's possible. It's software. What are you going to do? I'm not going to, lead you along. I want you to get some help. Sherry, no worries, yes. The website, okay, well, let me see what I can do in a minute. Go to Web and IDX on the left. Web and IDX on the left. You should see your website. You're going to go to Edit Settings. If you're talking about our initial templates, some of you might be listening to this and your brokerage might have custom websites, then you might not have these options. If you do, you're going to have 4. If I wanted to change one of the 4 templates you have, which include widgets, this is where I would do that. If you want to change just widgets that you've added, because you can do that too. Like on the main board or dashboard, above edit settings, there's a button that says widgets. Do you see that? Like, so I went Web and IDX, I see website manager, site content, blog, embeds, widgets. Click on widgets. If you've added widgets, this is how easy it is to remove. So if you have them over here on the right, like I have the featured area or the market report or side by side, I can just delete them right here. You can clear it, revert to your default up here at the top. And over on the left is where you can add ones that you don't have already, if that's what you're talking about. So that's Web and IDX. The main 4 templates are under edit settings, but if you want to go for individual widgets that you've added, just click on that 5th over from the left widgets, and then just hit that X button, and that would get rid of my search alerts or the resources or the financing, if that makes sense. The display? I don't know what you mean by the display, Sherry. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, not this one. Here, bear with me. Because these right here, my computer loads. Let me close some windows down. That's not going to load for me. All right, looks like I'm an issue. Sorry, I'm running late to another meeting, but I don't want to leave you hanging out there. See if this will do it. Nope. I mean, the website itself, everything in there is a widget. Okay, so if you want to remove an individual widget, this is how you would do it under the widgets. If you're talking an entire template, like here's the warrior, for example. Like if I was looking at this website, featured areas, that's a widget. Your search starts here, that's a widget. Stay on top of your local real estate market, that's a widget. I can change them all by picking a different template, but if I want to change these individual ones, you have to go to the widget section. And if I'm missing the ball here, tech support can totally help you out with that too. Okay, okay. Well, I appreciate it. Appreciate your patience. Everyone, I'm so sorry for running late with you. Happy holidays to you as well. In my video here, wish you all well. I will upload the recording to our YouTube channel. And once again, that is right here. And maybe I'll see you sometime in the future. Hey, thanks everyone. Be safe out there. Happy holidays. Appreciate your time and patience. Take care now. Bye-bye.